Okay, this is a positional statement from Miles Johnson of the BASES project, which has been going since 1994. For those of you who've been following the BASES project, it's been a very long ride. It's 1994, 1993. That's as long ago as we were going back, when we basically stopped shooting the pirate radio series and the Irish era of pirate radio, and we took those cameras and we started to do a thing called Bases. It's called Bases because it deals with bases, and that was Barry King way back in those days. Shortly after the conference, the BASES2021 conference, which was held at the barge in Honey Street, one of the a series of strikes which were being maliciously created by a certain organisation resulted in 20 odd years of of bases being taken down. That's over 1,500. It's 1,500 odd interviews and files uploaded. So secondary to that, an extremely serious incident and a situation has happened with me personally, and that is going to have to play out, and we'll see where that takes us. So right now, in the last week, we've been doing the initial stages of basically collating bases from bases 1 right up to bases 116, which is the final one, which had Dr. Richard Fleming's section on various things which, in this era of continued harassment on the truth and censorship, I can't even say what the hell that is. And there's probably 15,000 different things all being written into codes of practice which you're violating as soon as you decide to actually think about anything. Okay, the situation is that we are in a collation and see what we've got mode. Now, I've just left off something like 12 to 16 terabytes of damaged hard drives which for one reason or another have failed. And I've had a little box of those gathering more and more, and now we're going to make because we are missing, or appear to be missing, quite a few of the bases numbers. Again, we don't actually know that yet because it's a lot to sort of try and get across. Because the way that things worked over all the years, there wasn't any one particular thing that you put things into. It grew as it did, and now it's time to put it all together, try to get all of them in a row, all lined up, everything in there, so we know what we've got and what we don't have. We may even have to go back to the camera tapes, the original camera tape media, and see if we have to recover that. Now, the problem with digital technology is if it's on a hard drive, because that's the only way you can realistically store the stuff, once those hard drives go, it's extremely expensive to recover them. So I'm looking for £3,000 to do that. Now, that's a heck of a lot less than if we did it by sending these things off to these companies which charge about 1,200 quid a drive at least, and those are old prices. So we are doing what we can to recover what we've got, and then we're going to stick that onto a series of hard drives. And if you want to buy that, if you want the entire Bases collection, the whole lot, that's the idea, is that will be available. Now, that I think might end up, it's going to be 4 or 5. You have the basic problem is you stick them on 2 or 3 really big drives, or you stick them on a series of smaller drives. And then if one dies, you've got backups on the other, and so forth. So the hard drive is a very useful system, but it doesn't. No digital technology hangs around a long time and is a good way of keeping them. Our ancient forefathers knew how to do it. They went and put all the data in standing stones. Anyway, in a realistic way, we're looking for raising £3,000 to get this job done. Then hopefully we will fill in all the holes in the missing bases. Some of the bases may not be worth, they may have a lesser importance, but some of them have a great deal of importance, and if we're missing those, it's a big deal. So this is a positional statement. What we're going to do is we're going to basically coast for the next couple of months, getting this sort of situation under wraps, under control. And because really at this stage in the game, if you don't know about transhumanization, if you don't know about all the secret stuff that they're doing, it's too late, really. So really, what is the future in continuing to do updates or whatever, any kind of basis as such? There are other people who are starting out. They're trying to hold rallies and whatever. Again, all of that looks as if it's we're increasingly in an extremely censored situation. So that's it. £3,000 in donations, please, to the Bases project to try and pay for this, to get the new hard drives. Once the old hard drives have been recovered, that data has to go onto new hard drives, and then the idea is then to get copies of that to people who want those want that information. So that's really it, and that's a positional statement, and I don't think there's much more to say. Things are very serious, very grave, and we're in a stage where we need to recover what we can. We have the 3 existing related bases sites, the backup bases project, which has got very little on it, bases restricted, which has got very little on it, and stepping stones to awareness, which has really got a lot of the stuff from really way back in the late 80s, the early 80s, VHS stuff with Anthony J. Hilda and Montauk stuff and whatever, which we put a lot of that up, and again, a lot of that is even available now from the direct sources on YouTube, things like George Knapp material and stuff like that. It's well worth getting across all that material. Things are moving very fast. Things are very serious, and we're going to do what we can to recover that information, get it all lined up in a 1 to 116 with all the subsections and all the other things like the basis conferences and the AMASH material, because remember, all the AMASH material went when that went down. And I know Joanne has her copies, but it's still important stuff. It's still important because people came. They came to say what they're going to say, and I was there to record it. And I owe it to them, all the witnesses, that we recover that material. They made their statements, and it's for you in the wider world to see that, have it as a research resource. That's what the whole thing's all about, and that's it.